So welcome back, guys. Let's level up Astragoth Ironhand. Let's go for firing drills. The reason for this is because this affects both Hobgoblin units and Chaos Dwarf units, which I'll be getting in the early game. Then for Zorok, Double Center, spread control and training. Yeah, something decent. Let's merge these units and recruit better ones. Yeah, I have some Hobgoblin archers that I want. 4 units in total of missile is good. Sneaky gits, I prefer them because they have that precursor weapon and the poison. And then we have military doctrine here for recruit cost and more recruit rank. Let's hire an infernal castellan as well. Oh, that was good. That one is not going to affect now, but it's going to affect later. This materialistic, that would be nice, but no, let's go unethical. I will always use some infernal god units in Astragoth, so likely that'll become important later on. In terms of research, let's go for the Telestars. Yeah, I want some more control. And I believe that will be it. So let's go into the next decision making for this part of the campaign. So Conclave Influence to use at the Tower of Tsar. Basically, there's a lot of different specific ones that I would like. Armaments per turn is really good, really like that. But I'm feeling that what I need first is actually the raw materials. Why? Because this is linked to growth. Well, basically you need raw materials to improve your settlement level, especially at a tower level, which is why I'm getting it. Now, in terms of tech, let's go focusing on our military. Actually, I want the good thing about Chaos Dwarfs is they can do this. Let's increase the Chaos Dwarf capabilities, and I want to declare war on these ogres. But let me see just some stuff. Okay, nothing that I can get here, and there's no one at war with them, which, yeah, it's bad. I don't have anyone to bribe or to request a bribe, but oh well. Not an important army to fight against, but I believe I can just test my units against. It's a nice army to test it out, so yeah, let's go for it. A very dark and brooding moment here, but here are my Chaos Dwarfs and Hobgoblins, some laborers here, some sneaky gits, really love those. And here's Astragoth already plotting how to win the battle. It should be easy. Basically a strong set of lines with missile at the back and of course cavalry flanking. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Overview of the enemy now. Some Gobbler Trappers, a nice line with the Ogre Bulls in the middle, some Saber-Tusk packs here, and his general is in the middle. Quite a big fella. He'll fall. We're already hitting them as I'm overviewing this. And there's tons of Ogre Bulls, but, you know, they won't cause too much damage, I hope. Even with their charge. And of course some Trappers. The battle has begun and the lines are clashing, the ogres are charging in. So are the Saber-Tusk packs, but they shouldn't do too much. There's tons of my units flying because of course the Orc Laborers, well, they're perfect to be eaten by the ogres. Well, I'll have better units in very soon. In the meantime, my flying bull is trying to catch up a nice target. I believe he found it. Really good to take care of these units. And you can see that most of their army is already in disarray. And this left flank is composed of, well, basic chaff units, so they are not causing too much damage to my own units. I think I'm causing more damage with my own missile fire, though. Well, Just another view of the battle right before they clashed. And this time I'm centering around Astragoth so that you guys can see. Nope, he's doing the jumping. And here comes the enemy lord as well to fight him, but that actually helps us out, because that would imply a little bit of a leadership debuff. This was a miscast. Sorry, Chaos Dwarfs. Not exactly a miscast. I just... he was in melee, so there's no way he could cast it likely. Come on, deal with him. Get rid of him. And overall, this battle implies that, you know, his leadership is going to falter very soon, and the battle will be ours. So after the end of the battle, we're going to occupy the settlement as a tower, which is very important here. And let me consider what to build. Likely, I want to have some income here. Yeah. And let's go instead for a little bit more control. Some campaign movement range helps a little bit. Or should I go for hobgoblins? Hobgoblins. Yeah, I think that will help in the long run. So we got Gordus Backstabber, basically from the quest, and there's some new convoy contracts because, of course, the convoy finished. We got some necessary resources from that, and I'll try to use him as most as I can because he's now much more valuable. So overall, we have Gordus Backstabber. I'll go into him a little bit later, but for now, I just want to see if 50%, yeah, I'll take it. If it assaults the units, it will help out. Well, failure. Well, sometimes that's RNG for you. Let me upgrade this, increase mobility on the Infernal Castellan here, and let's fight it out. This is the end for the Ogres. Well, because I have the settlement garrison counting for those odds, maybe I just want to auto-resolve. This one, yeah, I'll just auto-resolve. They're forced march and just trappers. It's fine. So that is the end for these ogres, and I think I'll get laborers or gold. Well, gold. Gold is important. So yeah, that's the end of the ogres nearby. So, we are upgrading our forces. I got an additional blunderbuss. I spent the armaments for it. And the vampire counts are here. So the Lamian Sisterhood, I need to take care of them for my short objectives. Let's give them a trespass warning. See if I can declare without any issues. And should I enter? Let me just double check here for some stuff. Okay, labor, yeah, it's checked. So we always want that in case you have some workload to divide it to. And yeah, that is it. Getting some nice buildings overall, good. So some progress against the vampires. They just retreated and got their forces depleted. So it's just time to have a siege and conquer the Silver Pinnacle. I'll show you the siege. Our battle lines are very simple. A couple of lines of orc laborers with some Chaos Dwarf infantry and some Chaos Dwarf missiles, as well as Hobgoblin missile units with Astragoth leading on this side. Very straightforward stuff. Yep, here they come. The little green guys. Over to the other side, I have a little bit of a flank. Basically, I got my cavalry units and my flyer going on this side just to divide the enemy forces. This typically helps. The AI will always bring up a couple of forces to the side, even if it's just zombies. It is fine. So some zombies here, some skeleton warriors, as you can see. They should be no match. And over to the other side. It's always difficult to pan out the camera properly here. So these are Crypt Ghouls, one of the better units that they have, but they're very vulnerable to fire and arrow damage. And we have the best units here, the Grave Gods and the Black Knights over there. Very majestic units. I really love how they are designed here. The battle plan is very straightforward, very simple. Just approach the walls with my infantry units with cover from the missiles, and these sneaky gits will also attack over there with the cavalry units attacking the gate. There's some specific units from the AI that I need to worry about, even the Felbats there. Over on this side it's just very much chaff units, so it shouldn't worry me too much. To battle. So we're approaching the walls under missile fire. It's always nice to see this missile fire close up. It's doing some damage, but nothing to worry. We can count on those casualties. On the other side, let's watch our flyer coming in. I always love flyers going on the walls, especially when they don't die. Whoops! There we go. Such a massive unit with that wingspan. I mean, look at that. Whoa! That was cool. Some missile fire heavily into these crypt ghouls. They don't have shields, so they do suffer a lot from that. Let me see if I can see some engagements here against my orc laborers. And some Felbats that are impossible to close up. There's no way this would go in anywhere good. So let's watch the battle here, maybe against Astragoth that has breached the gate and is handing over some nice retribution to these Black Knights. Overall, my forces are now breaching through and starting to attack the enemy here. So let's see if I can find some close-ups. Oh, he lost his head. Yeah, let's cleave these bones. Oh, touchdown. Overall, the battle seems to be going really well. Let's watch Astragoth dealing even more hurt, and I have something nice for you guys. I've positioned the blunderbusses, so here we go. Oh, that is awesome. Nice volley. Yeah, overall, we're gonna dominate this battle very easily, as you can see here. Very nice spell casting here to destroy a little bit more of the enemy vampire forces, and overall they're nearly reaching the crumbling part. But still time maybe for a couple more casts. And Astragoth with the steel chair, he's coming in. Right. Bam! There we go. Victory. So some developments here on the war. We conquered the Blessed Expanse, of course. And there's a couple of more units that I got. You know, I merged these units. This one will be a sort of laborer with hobgoblins army for now. And then it will be a full hobgoblin army because, well, Gordo's Backstabber can make a really nice army just full of it. And that's only the hero. With the Lord as well, I can get a little bit more leadership and less upkeep, which is excellent, of course. That's precisely what I want. So one full hobgoblin army to accompany my main army. I'll get some bull centers, I'll get some blunderbusses going. Yeah, that feels good. So in terms of the Tower of Zar, I gained the income from settlement buildings here, and the AI is going for other stuff such as the armaments stuff, the armament upgrades, and the casual replenishment rate. I'll get those once I need them, honestly. Now, in terms of convoy, I got one that I exchanged gold for labor, which is always nice, especially at this point in the game where I don't need too much money. In terms of the provinces, I still haven't decided for the Blasted Wastes here, but I think it will be yet another military province, and together with Zornu School, I'll have a couple of military provinces, and that's it. Let me just change this for more construction, and that's about it. A nice battle to test out some of my new units, and especially the hero Gorgeous Backstabber as well. He has some nice abilities like the Crooked Dice and Dagger of Malice. This is mostly just goblins, but it's kind of like the last of them, so let's fight it out. So in terms of overview, I already merged my second army as well, so it's a lot of laborers on the front line, then a secondary line of missile units, and a third line of my most elite units, the Sneaky Gits and the Chaos Dwarfs, as well as all the heroes, including the Gorgeous Backstabber there, and Astragoth here, and my Infernal Castellan there. Now, yeah, the blunderbusses will likely do most of the damage, so what I want is the laborers to get the blunt of the initial charge from the enemy. And then, of course, I'll have a flank of cavalry here. Now that I have 2 units of these guys, it should be fine. In terms of the AI, they do have some cavalry on this flank, some trolls, and some orc boys. So basically they have their best units on the flank. And then tons of goblins. Look at how many goblins. And then even more goblins, but this time goblins with arrows. These are the dangerous part. These guys can do a lot of damage to my laborers. And of course the hero, it's on a mount. And yet more goblins with arrows and more goblins to the front. Plenty of goblins for everyone. More orc boys. And some more trolls on the flanks. So the flanks are actually much better than the front line. As for the battle plan, very easy. I'm gonna move out my laborers to the front. They'll take the blunt of the attack. They likely won't be routed. They will be routed, but no worries. Then a flank, of course, with my cavalry there. And on this flank, I got my secondary lord there. It will defend against those trolls, so I should have no worries. And then the line actually that will cause the most damage that I want to deploy there is the missile line. And of course then the third line of troops, the most advanced ones, will attack. Everybody got that? Like I said, I love a good war in the morning. So their goblins are actually quite powerful. They can deal out tremendous damage to these orc laborers for sure, especially with the arrow support. And they have shields, so they are kind of resistant to my own missile fire. Now I'll try to deal with these goblin archers with whatever way I can, either with the cavalry, with the flying units, or just some magic. Speaking of the flying units and the bull centers, here we go. They're going to do a lot of damage on this flank. Likely the flanks are completely owned by us. Yeah. And here's an overview. Always nice to have some Lord versus Lord encounters. Whoa! Tons of fire damage. So basically I'm using my arrows and my magic to deal with the enemy arrows, because those are the ones that are causing actually some damage. And on this flank, the trolls are actually charging in. And these are a couple of my archers that I didn't notice are chasing off someone else, because not that I didn't put them on guard mode, I actually clicked to attack, which is the problem. But in terms of overview, we can see that the lines are falling everywhere for them. Even this flank, they're nearly depleted. They have tons of models here, but leadership is falling. And soon, yeah, we shall have victory. Yet, the enemy lord will likely be conquered at this point. And with that, it's going to be the end for them. I just keep buffing some of the units just to ensure that they don't die off, you know. And my missile troops are just focus firing anything that can cause some harm, like these trolls. But that's the end of the battle. So following the aftermath of the battle, I'm going to get better units such as bow centers, or even blunderbusses, or even just more warriors. It will depend. I'll have to check out. And then this secondary army will just grab more hobgoblins. I need to upgrade 1,400. That will be next turn, which is excellent. And then in terms of overview, so we have to be aware of attacks by other greenskin factions. They are the most likely to attack me. The Norskins to the north, they're fine. Norskins over there are fine. These Chaos Dwarfs protect me from Grimgore. So overall, I think everything is cool. I have the time to conquer this full province, and that will give me a solid base to expand. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, bye bye.